Um, so as I said, it's a research-oriented term project. So you need to conduct some research, get familiar with research in the cybersecurity field, and in the end, you need to submit a project report, or you can say you submit the project paper, term project paper, because this report should follow the same format as an academic paper, academic published paper, because you can read and find so many published paper in the academic conference, and they all have some common structure. So you should follow that kind of structure to generate this term project report. I only have this very basic requirement that at least a 6 page in double column format, single spaced. So single space is important because sometimes if you use double space, then you can generate 6 page without much content in it. So the purpose for the term project is learn how to conduct research and also write academic research paper. And the group format is help you to learn how to collaborate and communicate with your colleague. That's a must-have knowledge and skill before you go to the career. You can use all kinds of way to help you to collaborate. Use all the social media channels, like a Discord channel. Many people use Discord for discussion and sharing. And use a Zoom meeting, use all the virtual meetings, and use this shared drive, shared hard drive, to share the common document between you and your collaborator. Subversion is a collaboration platform that can remember all the previous version of the, suppose you are writing a paper with another friend, another colleague. So whenever you make some revision, Subversion will remember all the revisions in the past. So you can trace back to find every revisions in every time frame. So these are all for document sharing and collaborations. So try to find a good way to collaborate. Most likely through this virtual way. Physical way collaboration become less and less important. But so you need to learn this virtual way to collaborate. And you can find a partner for your term project in either session of the class because there is no distinguish between these two sessions. So you can find anyone student in the class in both sessions. And our web course has this discussion forum. I remember, like a web course has this discussion, so you can create a message on the discussion. You can also chat with any student that is online. I don't know why this just show myself is online. I believe more student is online, but I don't know why it only show one person online. So use this collaboration mechanism to collaborate. This is the collaboration built in by web course, but you can use other tools as well. As I said, you can do it alone, but it means that you need to do all the work by yourself. You cannot share workload between two persons. So timeline for the term project is that try to find your partner as soon as possible so you can discuss and find the research topic you want to do. And the basic, there are so many subfields in the cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is much bigger. It's a big, broad field. There are many different subfields in the cybersecurity. So you can try to check this top cybersecurity conference, look for advanced program or technical program, find the session title. The session title basically explain one research topic in a cybersecurity field. So you can check and find all the topics in the cybersecurity. Then try to my understanding to find an easier way to do academic research is to find a topic that first you are interested. If you are not interested, you will find it too hard to do it. Find you are interested. Secondly, you are comfortable to do it and familiar with the knowledge. If you don't have any background knowledge on that, then that means you need to spend a lot of time to build up the required knowledge. So that may not be feasible for one semester's term project. For PhD dissertation, maybe you can do that. You can start for a very complete different field and use 1 year to build up all the knowledge. But for a term project, you cannot do that. So find some knowledge, find some topic that you're familiar, at least you have some experience or you know this concept very well. And comfortable just means that it's feasible for you to do it. For some topics, like it may require some special equipment. Then that means you cannot do that research because you cannot run and do the testing because you don't have that equipment. For some topic, you may need some specific data set that you don't have. For example, for routing security, internet routing security, if you are in AT&T or some like Verizon, those big companies, that you have this networking internet data that you can analyze. But if this research is about routing security, and you may have trouble to find public available data set to do experiment on, then that may not be a topic that you should work on, unless you can find some public available data set that you can try and do the testing. So that's a general principle for you to start a research quickly. So for the term project, I will have 2 submissions. First, a submission is the term project proposal. You submit your project proposal before the spring break. Before the spring break, you should already determine what kind of research topic you are going to work on. And for this submission, you need to submit 5-minute presentation slides to explain what's the title of your term project research and why you want to do this research, what you plan to do. Like, so you have a rough timeline on like 2 weeks later, I should finish some paper review. Then 1 month later, I should finish all the simulation or experiment. Then I will have 1 or 2 weeks in the end to finish the writing and finish the presentation slide. So that's the basic requirement for this presentation slides. Basically introduce what's the topic you're going to do and what you want to achieve within this semester time frame. And after spring break, I will put everyone's slides together to share with every student in this class, so you can see what other students are working on for the term project. And one common question asked by previous student in this one is that if a research topic will be done by another group, but we are doing exactly the same research, will be okay. The answer is yes. So it would be perfect fine that 2 or 3 group, you are working on exactly the same topic. That's the reality in the real world. Many research groups, they are working on exactly the same topic, but maybe your approach is different from each other. So don't worry about the collision with other groups. Will coding assignment be done by the term project? Well, coding assignment is throughout the semester, so the term project submission deadline is before the final exam. So you can treat this term project as a final exam, but the deadline is probably 1 day before the final exam start. The term project will end before that time, so the time will not be conflict with each other. But term project I call it term project because it's the whole semester type of project. You should not start thinking about term project just 1 week or 2 weeks before the deadline, because you cannot finish the term project in a good way just using 1 week. It's not like a regular assignment, like a programming assignment. You can finish it. If you're familiar with it, you can finish it in 1 or 2 days without any problem. But term projects need you to spend more time on it because it's like writing a research paper. So you should start working on it much earlier. Remember, you need to have this idea about the topic, what you are going to do before the spring break. That's why I require you to submit this term project proposal before the spring break. The second submission for term project is the final submission, basically the 1 day before the final exam period. Then in the final exam, you don't need to worry about this class anymore. You just worry about your other class for the final exam. And for the term project, the final submission will have 2 files for you to submit. One is the project report or project paper. Another is the presentation slides. So you only need to submit these 2 files. You don't need to submit the code for your term project if your term project have using some code, but it's up to you. You can submit the code as the third file, for example, for the submission. You can also put it on GitHub, just like when people do real academic research, when they publish paper, they often put their code, share their code on GitHub. So that is also fine. The presentation slides will need to have the speaking notes on it because we have so many students in the class. In the beginning of this class, I require every group to present their term project in the classroom. But at that time, the class only have 20, 30 students in the class. So that is doable. Right now, we have more than 100 students, so it's not doable. So I don't require you to present your term project, but I need you to generate the presentation slides and also generate the speaking notes on each page of the slides, just as if you are doing the oral presentation for the slides. And I don't recommend you to generate audio for the presentation because I don't have time to listening to your half hour or 20 minutes presentation for a term project. So just to generate the speaking notes for each page would be fine. Okay, let me see the question. Do we only get the time in between spring break and end of term? As I said, you can start a term project right now to find your partner, to find a potential topic you are going to work on. The sooner, the better. Can we get our topic and slides? If you have doubt about the topic you picked, then you can email me to ask. But most likely I will approve your choice. So the basic principle is that as long as your topic you're working on is related to cybersecurity, then it will be a good topic for the research. So you don't need to get my approval before when you submit the proposal. As I said, you don't need to give a presentation for the class because the class is too big for the actual presentation of each group. Okay. So that's the timeline for submission for the term project. Then I will classify term project into actually 3 categories, but it's very rough. It doesn't mean simple category will always get a lower grade than a term project in the middle category. It's just on average, simple category is simpler for you to do. Is less demanding for you to work on. So simple category for a term project is one is tutorial based, tutorial focused. You can write a survey of the research work in a specific topic, like finding. Right now, AI tools is very popular, right? So there are also research very popular that about how do we deal with attack to AI tools. So you can write a survey paper to survey the recent research techniques, research ideas on how to detect those attacks to AI tools. And you can find many survey papers from the IEEE or ACM journals. In our computer science, these are 2 major public publishers, IEEE or ACM. So these are 2 major publishers. So you can find their journals. They have in their journal publication, they have many survey type of paper. You can check them to see how other people write a survey paper. And everything on IEEE ACM is accessible because UCF library has a subscription to the IEEE Explorer or ACM Digital Library. So all their conference and journal, the paper is accessible by you through the UCF library. And in the survey, you need to survey at least 6 to 8 papers that focus on the same topic. And I want to emphasize that this is not a repeat of the paper review assignment. Paper review assignment is like you write a review of one paper, write an extended review of one paper to see what the techniques presented in that paper, what can you learn from that paper, and how to improve the work based on that paper. So that's the review. This survey will be much more than that. So some students in the past, they write the survey paper as if the combination of 6 or 8 papers, paper review together. So that's not a good way. Survey paper is more like systematically summarize all the research together. It's not like I introduce paper 1 talk about this, then paper 2 talk about this, paper 3 talk about this. That kind of writing is not a survey paper. So you should read survey papers in those journals to find how they do this survey. A survey is not a simple list or summary of each research paper. You need to categorize and classify and compare the proposed idea system in those papers. Like you can say that in this specific topic, for example, in intrusion detection, it can be classified into anomaly intrusion detection and signature-based intrusion detection, and another maybe AI-based or expert knowledge-based intrusion detection. So that's like a 2 or 3 class. Then in the anomaly intrusion detection, these 3 paper, their research is about anomaly intrusion detection. But within these 3 or 4 paper, the 2 papers idea, they are similar to each other. They differed from the other 2 papers, and then you talk about what's the advantage for one idea compared with the idea presented in another paper. And so compare a classification and comparison is essential component for survey paper. So that's what I want to emphasize. So this is a simple category. I call it simple category because for this, you don't need to find any new idea. You just need to do some paper reading and summarization. Another is in a simple category is like education focused. You can provide insight or technical detail of a specific cybersecurity system or cybersecurity incident. For example, like a specific cybersecurity system, you can talk about, for example, the IC-based credit card. What's the security mechanism used by IC card system? What kind of attack to this IC card-based credit card exists in the real world, in the research? So that is also like a survey type of paper, right? But it's more give some education tutorial on a specific cybersecurity system. Like if you talk about like a car key, a wireless car key, you can talk about what kind of mechanism, how many different mechanisms built into wireless car key. Some car industry, they use these techniques to protect their key security. Some use other techniques. And what kind of attack exists for each wireless car key out there? For example, I know that Hyundai and Kia in recent years model, their car key has built-in chip within this wireless car key. So even if you have that key available to turn on the engine will actually communicate with this microchip on that key knob to verify that you actually physically have that knob on your hand. That is like a theft protection. So give some tutorial on the specific cybersecurity system, or give a tutorial on a specific cybersecurity incident. Like in the previous, like target system compromise, or the government, this Office of Program Management, they have a big security incident. We all heard about the news, but we don't know the technical detail. Then your task is to explain that incident with all the technical detail you can find in the report, in other people's writing. You put them together. So that will be a good tutorial. Okay, so this could serve as an education document. One example is a StarNext. But StarNext has been studied a lot by many people. So this is not new anymore. And so here are some examples. Remember, I classify this as simple category because this one, again, it doesn't need you to have any new contribution or new idea. So you don't need to worry about that. I cannot find any new idea. How can I write the own project? Okay, I think time's up for the class, and I will finish this explanation in next Tuesday's class. Again, as I said, there will be no class this Thursday, so next class will be next Tuesday time. Okay. See you next Tuesday. And this time I will further explain about the term project. So last time we explained the timeline for the term project because you need to do it early. It's like a research type of project. So if you have not done any research before, then this is a good way for you to get to know how to do academic research. As I said, this is a research-oriented project. So if you don't have any new ideas, that is fine, because this is not like asking to write a publishable paper. So I classify the term project into this 3 category. And the simple category just means that it's relatively simple to write a term project in this kind of group. First, the tutorial focused term project. You give a survey of the most recent research in a specific topic. So in academic research, there are also a lot of survey paper, especially published in journals, like in IEEE or ACM journals. In our computer science field, the main publisher are IEEE and ACM. So you can find in the IEEE or ACM journals, find a lot of survey paper. And UCF library have the subscription for all the conference and journals published by IEEE and ACM. So you can go through library, and when you log in, then you can access all the papers there. And web course has this UCF library tools, so then you don't need to sign in anymore because you have already signed in through web course. For this survey type of paper, you can read some survey paper in these journals to see the format for how the other researchers write a survey paper. Of course, for the term project, it should be simpler than those published survey paper. What I require is that you should survey at least 6 to 8 papers that focus on that same research topic you are doing in this survey. And just remind you, don't make it as one paper review after another, because survey does not mean you explain every paper in detail. Survey is try to summarize, try to systematically analyze all the works in that specific field, and categorize, classify, and compare the proposed ideas or system in those published paper. Because for a specific problem, there could be many solutions from different angles. So different solutions, you cannot say for sure that this is the worst, this is the best, because maybe one solution is best in one specific scenario. It's not the best in the other scenarios. So when you do a survey, this part is the most important. Compare the proposed ideas and system in those published paper, explain their strengths and weakness, and which one is better in terms of which application scenarios. And so that is what the survey paper should be. It's not like explain every paper one by one in detail. So this survey paper, you can see that you don't need to present any new idea as long as you do paper reading, finding those paper and read those paper and summarize them, then that will be fine. Another education focused is more like when you read some web page on the internet, you can see there are many tutorial type of writings on the website. So this is like that. Just to give some education on a specific like a device or specific cybersecurity incident. Like if you are interested in RFID device and system, their security, vulnerability, attack, or defense, then you can give this explanation of how these how the current RFID system, their communication works, and what kind of existing attack for the current RFID system out there, and any security protocol those RFID systems have used to protect their security. And another well-known example is the Starnex, but this has been studied by many researchers. So you should not talk about this anymore because it's a well studied one. Like if you're interested in car security, like a wireless key for car, there are some published paper on attack on getting the wireless keys code information remotely to steal a car, and how the car manufacturer designed their wireless key and car's communication protocol to make it secure. So that is also belonging to this. It's like a survey paper. You don't need to present any new idea. It just need you to read the research or technical descriptions on that specific topic and give an educational explanation of the technical aspect. And so I treat those two as in the simple category because they don't need you to have a novel idea. In order for you to publish a paper in academic field, you need to present some new idea. But if you don't have a new idea, then for the term project, you can write in this simple category. Middle category just means that first group is like if you are good at programming, then you can try to repeat and realize some algorithms, some programming, some experiments in one or two published papers. So for example, one paper presented how you can use your computer to eavesdrop on Wi-Fi traffic to find out what kind of IoT device exists in this hotspot, like what kind of IoT device exists in this home, because you can monitor this Wi-Fi traffic based on the statistical pattern of those encrypted packet. Then you can know that, well, there's a Wi-Fi camera, there's a thermostat, there's a smart speaker exists in this home. So for that research paper, like our group had published one of such kind of research paper, we also did experiment using many IoT devices, collect the data and analyze it to show that we can actually detect each device type and even brand for the IoT device. So what you do is that suppose you read this paper, you think this is interested, then you can do the experiment described in this paper by those researchers. You can do the experiment by using some of the IoT device you have and do the data collection and analyze those data using the method presented in that published paper to see that whether you can actually determine the Wi-Fi, the IoT device that you have done, you are doing experiment to see what's the accuracy, whether it is matched with that result presented in the paper. So that is experimental focused. So this one, you are doing experiment similar as the one described in a published paper. You try to produce the same kind of experimental scenario, try to produce the similar result. For scientific research, one basic criteria is that it's repeatable. It's repeatable by all the researchers as long as they are doing the things correctly. So if your result is very different from the result published in the paper, you should try to find out why there is a big difference. Maybe your algorithm is too simpler. Maybe your experimental scenario is not as matched with whatever described in that published paper. So that is experimental focused. This one doesn't need to do programming, but it needs you to do the similar experiment. Programming focused, it just means that many research papers, when they present some new idea, they cannot do real experiment. They cannot actually implement it, like in the aerospace field. If you presented a new design of the wing, you certainly cannot experiment it. So what they do in their research paper is writing simulation code and run the simulation to generate the simulation result to show that what the new design actually works better than the previous one. So for those papers, you can repeat and realize those simulation by writing the coding described in that paper and do the similar simulation as what described in that paper as well. So these two are similar to each other. Basically, you need to do certain programming or experiment. So it's not just reading paper and summarize paper anymore. So I believe this part is more complicated, need more work for you than the simple category. So I classify them as the middle category because it need you to do some concrete research. Like in undergrad senior design, what they need to do is that they have to do either programming or experiment to show that their senior design actually work. Another one I treat it as a middle category is that you present some minor improvement of idea or algorithm in published paper. So when you read the published paper in one area, you think that you can find a better solution, a better like machine learning algorithm or a better detection algorithm that you believe it will achieve better performance than what have been described in those published paper. But you don't have the time or skill or to finish either the simulation or the experiment. Then that is like a half stage of the research. So you simply use word and explanation to explain that new idea, but you don't have any proof for that. And in academic research, there are one kind of publication is called work in progress. In many conferences, they have either poster session or work in progress session that researcher can generate like a poster to explain their research. It's not fully complete. They only have some rough idea, but they haven't finished the verification evaluation yet. Then they present their research as a poster in a conference or as a work in progress. Work in progress is like a very short, like a 1 page or 2 page description of the idea. So it's not a real published paper. So this kind of work is like that work in progress, half-baked paper. And I treat this as middle category because you have some new idea presented. You just don't have time to prove it yet. So that also belongs to the middle category. Advanced category, it just means that your research is almost equal to the published paper. So if you can do more experiment, more simulation, and more writing, you might be able to submit this paper to some conference and journal to publish. Then that kind of term project, we treat it as the advanced category. So you present some new idea, a novel idea. You also support this your new idea with either simulation or real experiment. So it's like you finished the research work. Has the potential to be further developed as an academic published paper. So in this class, in the previous years, we actually have some group that when they finish this term project, they do further work on that term project in the following summertime or following fall semester. Then they submit their paper for publication successfully later. So a paper in this group has the potential that if you put more time on it, you might be able to publish it in some conference or journals. So that's a rough three category. Generally speaking, a paper in this group will have better average score than paper in the middle group, and will have a better score than the paper in the simple group. Well, it just means the average point for these three groups is like that. But when I do the grading, I will also think about your writing, whether you write it in the scientific way, whether you have done the research in a comprehensive way. So even if you are doing this simple category of the term project, you may get a better grade than another group that doing this middle category of the term project. Depend on your writing, depend on your presentation slides, depend on your content. Okay, so that's the rough criteria for me to grade your final term project for these things. Let me see, what's the question? One question that, can there be 3 members in a team project? The answer is no. You can only have 2 members in one team, because it's very likely some people will do it alone, so they finish everything by themselves. So if another group have 3 students working on a term project, then it will be too unfair for that single student group. So that's why I don't allow 3 persons to be in one group. The group can only have 1 person or 2 persons. Another question, do all 3 have the ability to score a 100 point? When I do the final term project grading, I never give out 100 point. What I can say is that the average point for simple group is lower, a little bit lower than average point in the middle group than average point in the advanced group. So you can think that it's like a normal distribution for this three group, but they will have overlap. Okay, so when you do the research, the first challenge is that you may find that how can I find a topic to work on? So cybersecurity is a very broad area. I don't know which research I should work on. So then you should try to read some high quality papers to see what other people are doing in the academic research. To glance through them, you don't need to read every paper in detail. You just do a quick checking on those papers. There are many conferences and workshops in computer science. So maybe you should focus on the top 4 cybersecurity conference. These are the top 4 cybersecurity conference. People usually call them Big 4. So these are all annual conference. So they hold one conference once in every year, almost in the same time. And there are some other good security conference. NDSS is also Big 4. And you can see this link. Like these are the top four security conference. This tool is the cryptography. I generally don't do any research in cryptography because cryptography rely on a lot of knowledge on mathematics and number theory. So I never pay attention to the cryptography conference. So these are the top four security conference. And then there are some second tier conference, security conference. You can also try to look for paper in them. And this faculty present this list, so you can see other security conference as well. In addition, some other well-known conference, they are not on cybersecurity, but they have one or two sessions specifically focus on the cybersecurity issue in that. Like Infocom is like communication. It's a very big conference in networking and communication. It always have 2 or 3 sessions that focused on the cybersecurity issue in communication. Like World Wide Web, it's also a well-known conference focused on the web. And it always have 1 or 2 sessions talk about the security issues in the World Wide Web. This is on wireless communication. It's #1 wireless communication conference. It always have at least 1 sessions on security issues. So find those top security conference, then you go to those conference webpage, and especially for the Big Four, they have every conference, every paper's full content, and also most of them have the presentation video and the presentation slides for each paper that presented in the conference. For example, if you check like this one, Attribute Security and Privacy Symposium, and this is 2024. And you can see all these computer science conferences, they have a similar structure. You always can find some program link, and the program link will show the accepted papers, and it will also show the program. Program is like they usually have 3 days or 4 days, like this is 4 days, and they show each session. So each session, from the session title, you can see all the paper in this session. They talk about scams and phishing attack. So in this session, all 3 papers are about scam and phishing attack. These 3 papers are about deepfake, how to defend against the deepfake. This is about privacy for dataset. So you can use the session title to know what kind of research topic all the paper in that session talk about. So if you don't know what research topic you want to do, you can quickly glance through this conference, this session title. This is the security and privacy. Like if we use this CCS, it's a similar thing. It's 2024. This is a program. Yeah, you can see the yeah, these are the paper and this is a session. But what's a session? This is a session title. You can see that this is a session title that will talk about this session's paper. these several papers talk about basically this micro architecture attack and side channel attack. These several papers talk about verifiable security for distributed system. So these several papers talk about machine learning for security. So for all the computer science conference, they are like that. You can use the session title to find out what kind of research topic people are working on. If you're interested in that research topic, then you can check the paper's title in that session. And well, this one doesn't have the link. Some of them have the link. If a conference does not have the paper's details, then you can, for example, if you're interested in this paper, you can just search its title, Google search its title. You can very likely to find its papers, like a presentation slides, or it's a PDF file in the Attribute Explorer or ACM Digital Library to find PDF file on the internet. So some conferences, they have the presentation video. Like I believe this one has a presentation video. Like this one, like a program technical sessions. Okay, so are grouped into sessions according to topic, and session title will tell you the research topic. You can quickly find papers that you are interested, because some session title, even if you read the title, you don't know what they talk about, then you probably don't need to pay attention to the paper in that session, because if you don't understand the title, then you are unfamiliar with that research topic. And so this is my understanding on how you can quickly do some research and find a paper or research that you can read further to understand that idea. So this is my way of quickly doing this search, because in the computer science, there are so many papers published every year. You certainly don't have time to go through every one. So this is my way to go through quickly and find the one that I want to read. Find conference session titles, read the paper titles in a session that you're interested. If the paper title you can understand or feel interested in a paper title, you can read the abstract of that paper. If the conference webpage does not present the abstract, you can just Google search its paper title. You can clearly find the PDF file for that paper. So you read the abstract of that paper. After you read the abstract, if you still feel that this is interesting work, then you can read further of that paper, read the introduction and related work section. For computer science paper, the first section is always introduction. And some papers, they have the related work as a second section. Some have the related work in later, but the first section is always introduction. So if you feel this paper is interested after reading the abstract, you read the introduction, finish introduction. If you feel after finishing introduction, it's still an interesting paper to read, then you read the paper in full scale. So in this way, you can quickly go through one conference published like 40 to 60 papers in terms of a few hours. So of course, those few hours is basically go through all those papers, find the few, like 3 or 5 papers that you are interested to further read on. Because for every paper you read in full content, you probably need to spend a couple of hours or even more to finish that one paper. But at least this is my way to quickly go through many papers and find the one that I want to read in details. So in every step, you filter and keep maybe 10% or 20% of the paper from the previous step, then quickly shifting through all the big ocean of the published paper. So that's my understanding. And proceeding, like in using security, here, and it seems using security put all the presentation slides and video here. Let me see. Suppose for this paper, using security put the abstract and also its presentation slides. This is presentation slides and also its presentation video on the website. So some conference, they put everything on their website. Some conference don't. So if you're interested in this paper, if it has a presentation video and slides, maybe you don't need to read the paper in detail first, because that will take a lot of time. You can read through its presentation slides, which can go through very quickly, or you can go through its presentation video to help you understand the paper. And for journals, you remember we have the subscription for IEEE or ACM journals. You can find them. Okay, any questions for this part? Okay. The next I want to introduce a little bit is this potential term project topic, because some students in the past year, they still want to know, can you give some example of the term project topic that I can work on? So this PDF file lists some potential topic that you can work on. It's a possible research topic for the term project. But there are many other research topics, as you see from those top 4 security conference. It's just here is just some example that just to give some idea. Like right now, AI is very hot, so AI security is also a hot topic in cybersecurity. AI security, you can think that it has 2 aspects. One is using artificial intelligence for cybersecurity problem, like for intrusion detection, for any defense. You can use AI techniques to help you to better to do this detection and defense more efficiently, more quickly, fully automatic. So that is using AI to protect cybersecurity. Another topic in AI security is the security issues in AI system. When we rely on AI for many systems, then they will bring up additional attack venue for attacker. One main area for attacking to the AI-based system is this adversarial machine learning attack. Basically, attacker generate carefully craft input data such that it can fool the AI system. So AI system will make the wrong decision. Like for automatic drive, if attacker put a craft image on those stop sign on those signs, then the AI system, the video-based AI system may make the decision wrongfully. So you can involve car accident. Like AI thinks that this stop sign is not a stop sign, it's a right turn sign or left turn sign. But even though the image looks exactly the same as a stop sign for human eyes, the AI algorithm will treat that image completely different. So that is adversarial attack. So it's a very popular research topic in the cybersecurity field. So many people presented adversarial machine learning attack techniques, and many other people presented how do we defend against all these existing adversarial machine learning attack. So this is using AI to protect cybersecurity, to improve the cybersecurity strength and performance. So using AI to detect fake news, to detect a fake image, using AI system to detect malware more accurately. And another security issue in AI system is the fairness in AI system. Some AI system, they can have better performance in terms of certain race and gender of the people. They will treat a specific group of people unfairly, make a wrongful decision for those specific group of people. So that's the fairness, ethical issue in AI system. Deep fake is basically AI craft video looks exactly the same as the real video. Then it's called deep fake. And how do we detect those deep fake videos generated by AI system? So AI not only can be used to improve the security, AI can also be used by attacker. Like deepfake is one example of how attacker can use AI system to generate fake video. Data privacy in AI system is that because AI rely on a lot of large training data, so it needs to build on top of a large amount of training data. So how do you protect the privacy in those training data? How do you share the training data with other systems while you protect the user's privacy? So that's another issue in AI security. Another one I'm a little bit interested is in the digital currency. You can write an education term project on digital currency, like explain how Bitcoin works, explain how digital currency works. And you don't need to present any new idea, just to give a tutorial. But of course, for the term project, you should focus on technical details. All the term projects should, in this class, should be focused on technical details. Blockchain is also related to this digital currency. Blockchain cryptography and possible attack and defense to the blockchain-based system, like a possible attack and defense to the Bitcoin system. Attack attribution is the government is very interested in this area of research because they are facing a lot of attack from either some kids or from some nation state. So attack attribution is basically find out who actually done those attacks. Because attacker, especially those advanced attacker, they hide their trace when they do the attack. So you need to find what's the true identity of the attacker. Big data security privacy, it's a little bit similar to this data privacy for AI system. As how do you protect privacy when you do this data sharing? In-depth tutorial on recent cybersecurity incidents. So there are some cybersecurity incidents, then you can give some tutorial on how that cybersecurity attack actually happened. What kind of vulnerability has been exploited by the attacker? How the company process and deal with that attack. And focused on the technical aspect. It's not like a news article. News article don't focus on technical aspect. Term project, on the other hand, you need to focus on technical aspect of those cybersecurity incidents. Internet of Things security privacy. I gave one example a moment ago. For example, you can study existing popular IoT device system attacks. Like 2 years ago, there some security incident on hacking of some baby monitor. Attacker can successfully compromise some baby monitor. They can use it to eavesdrop on some home. They can even send audio through that baby monitor to that compromised device. So it's a well-known reported incident at that time. Some question by online student. Do both partner need to submit the term project or only one of the group? For a term project submission, if you have 2 students in one group, only one need to submit. The other one, you don't need to submit anything, or you can just say that my partner is who, and he or she will submit. Can we pick ideas from the list, or they are only for reference, cannot be used? Well, you can pick ideas from this list. You can pick ideas not from the list. And you don't need to worry about if there are multiple groups picking exactly the same topic to do, which is perfect fine, as long as this multiple group, you don't collaborate with each other and write exactly the same term project. So for example, SQL injection attack, some group every year we always have maybe 2 or 3 groups. They are doing the same thing on implementing SQL injection attack, and that is perfect fine. You pick the same topic, but you should each group should do this project separately. Do not collaborate on the term project. Are you going to post templates for term project proposal and final submission? I will not post any template. The template for the term project report is those published paper. So you should follow the similar format as those published paper in those security conference. Of course, those published paper in top 4 security conference, they are very long. They could be 10-page or even 20-page long. Your term project could be only 6-page or 8-page, but you should follow the similar format, similar structure as those published paper. So those published paper are the template for you. And the presentation is like, for example, this security and using security symposium. For every paper, they have these presentation slides. This is, I believe this is the presentation slides. Oh, no, this is the paper. View the slide. Okay, this is the presentation slides. So if you don't know the template for the presentation, you can go to Usenet Security, find all their papers presentation slides, and see how those authors present their paper in the conference. So you can think that this is well, it seems that this author used a lot of animation. So this page is very similar to each other, but some other they may use a simpler format of the presentation slides. So these are the template for your presentation slides, and this PDF paper is a template for your final term project report. Okay. This is one example I have explained a moment ago. A Wi-Fi based IoT attack, like our research group have published paper to show that we just use a MacBook without joining a hotspot, like we just need to near your home. I don't need to join your Wi-Fi home because your home Wi-Fi, because your home Wi-Fi has password. I don't have your password. That is fine. I just eavesdrop on your Wi-Fi router's traffic and all your home device traffic with just half minute or 1 minute monitoring capture data, then I can tell what kind of IoT device exists in your home, what's their working condition, whether this Wi-Fi camera is working or not, whether this smart speaker is working or not. So all those information I can obtain just by eavesdrop in your near your home. So that is one attack we present in the paper. We also have a few follow-up paper presented techniques. How do we defend against this Wi-Fi based eavesdropping profiling attack? So, that is about this part. And existing IoT security breach. So there are some IoT security breach, like as I said, this baby monitor hack has been well reported in the news. You can explain that incident, but you need to explain more about the technical detail about that, not just like those news articles. Research on hardware and software security vulnerability for IoT device. And fake news and disinformation detection and defense. So in every election time, people worry about the disinformation and fake news attack. So, so there are many researchers doing research on how to detect the fake news and disinformation campaign. In political science field, there are many researchers doing research on disinformation detection and defense, not from the computer science technical aspect, but from that political science, from information aspect. Cyber law tutorial, if you are, for example, if you are in a digital forensic master program, or if you are doing cybersecurity in the law part research, then this could be a good topic for you to do. You can explain some legal case study of some hacking incident, like some previous hacking incident. There are some authors of those hacking incidents. They have been tried by the court. You can describe that legal case, describe more detail about that legal case. What's the foundation for that suit, and what's the result for that? So, and what kind of evidence, digital evidence, has been used in that legal case study. So that is a tutorial type of survey. Security and privacy issue in smartphone. Smartphone right now is like a computer, so there are many security and privacy issues in smartphones. For example, vulnerability in smartphone-based payment system, because more and more users use smartphone for their payment system. For example, in China, we rely a lot on QR-based code for payment, and everyone don't have any cash anymore. So in China, people don't carry any cash. They just carry one phone, and they just scan the QR code for the seller, and they can pay through the social media app. It's like a WeChat app, and it's very, very convenient. And it seems people don't worry about any security issue there. But so there are some security issues for this QR-based payment, and also QR-based redirection for you to redirect you to a certain web page. You may be redirected by a fake QR code to malicious web page, and your phone may be compromised by the malicious web server. So you can study about what kind of existing attack to the QR code based system, how the security mechanism implemented by this payment system company. Well, in this Chinese system, the security issue is less than the system in US, because in China, every cell phone is how to say, it's two-person based. So basically, there's no anonymous cell phone. So if you use cell phone, use this payment system, you need to use your true identity to register your cell phone to use it. If you don't register, you cannot have any cell phone. So every cell phone is associated with a real person. That is foundation. With that foundation, a lot of security systems become much simpler to implement, much easier to keep the security. If you allow anonymous cell phone, like in US, in some other country, then attacker can use this anonymous cell phone and do a lot of attack without worry about being caught. So anyway, so that's the different foundation. Then on different foundation system, the security problem could be different. As I said, it's a WeChat. Well, WeChat is just one of the payment. There are two major payment systems in China. Basically, no one uses cash anymore. Only older people very old, like 70, 80-year-old people, they still use cash. But all the young people, they don't use cash anymore. Anyway, that is security privacy issue in smartphone. And social network security and privacy, like for Facebook and Twitter, because Facebook support third-party application. So some third-party application, they could have malicious code in them. So when user using those third-party code, they could be compromised. You can study some existing security incident and study how people deal with that security, how Facebook could deal with that security issues. In Twitter system, especially Twitter, you can have a lot of spam. You can have the disinformation campaign in Twitter, and all these security issues. Reputation assurance for online user review system, like e-commerce rely more and more on their reputation, on the user review. So user review is very important criteria to attract user to use to buy things on those e-commerce systems, to buy certain product. So how do you assure the user review they are true? They are generated by true users. They are not generated by the bot. They are not generated by malicious user just writing fake reviews to either increase or decrease certain product review. So these are what e-commerce system need to worry about. How do they maintain the true the real of their review system? Cloud computing, security and privacy. It has been studied for probably more than 10 years. So it's not that hot right now, but it's still a valid research area because we still rely on a lot of cloud computing. So how do you maintain this cloud computing system security? DNS security. It's an old research topic. There are not many research on DNS security anymore, but it's still a valid research topic. How do you maintain DNS security? How can you deal with attackers poisoning attack to the DNS system? Email spam and email phishing, and wireless network security, vehicular network security and privacy. It has been died off for more than 10 years, but recent years, because of those Tesla or these autonomous driving things, the research on vehicular security and privacy has brought up. So it attracts more attention right now than like 10 years ago. Web security, like detection of fake or phishing website, detect of the malicious website. Malicious website means that those websites will have a lot of adware or other malicious code that you could accidentally download and install on your computer. And the browser or cookie security issue. I believe you have experienced that sometimes when you visit some website, it asks you to accept all the cookies. If you don't accept all the cookies, you need to go to further step to accept only the necessary cookies. So most users, they don't want to go through trouble, then they will accept all the cookies presented by the web server. So that is one security issues. It brought up some researchers' attention for these cookie security issues. Software testing and security, like fuzzing test. We will explain fuzzing test in more detail in the class. We will have one programming assignment on that. Fuzzing test is still a regular research topic in software security. So still there are many researchers presented all kinds of fuzzing testing to improve the efficiency to detect software bugs. And vulnerability analysis, it's all belong to software security. So it's still a hot and a very important research topic in cybersecurity. If you go to this Big Four conference, using security and NDSS, using security and NDSS, they have a lot of paper on software security. So they publish a lot of paper in software security. So it's still a hot and very important research area in the cybersecurity field. RFID security and privacy, I have mentioned a little bit. Authentication, like a biometric authentication. What's the vulnerability problem for authentication? What's the potential vulnerability for two-factor authentication? Computer architecture security, it's more like a hardware security. Like how do you design a secure CPU? Like some CPU, they have certain facilitating circuit that can validate the data received by the CPU. And they basically, you can treat that the CPU itself become a mini computer. It can do encryption, decryption on the fly. So even attacker obtain the hardware board, like obtain the hardware device, they will not be able to see the content in the memory because memory has been encrypted on the run by the operating system. So even if you have the memory on your hand, you cannot see the actual data on the memory because everything is encrypted. Secure cache design, defend against those cache-based side channel attack. And how to detect a backdoor in the IC chips. This is the government pay a lot of attention right now to this. It's called a supply chain attack, especially for this device chip, for the computing chip, and the supply chain is very long. It can go through many countries. So how do you know the final product you get don't have any backdoor implemented by one of the company in the middle of this supply chain? how do you verify the device you get is whatever specified by you. So that is a supply chain defense. Networking security, it's an old research topic. It's a networking, like a stepping stone identification is like attack attribution. You want to detect where this attack coming from. Anonymity, how to detect attackers through this anonymized protocol. Black market, like a darknet, how do you start a darknet to find some early sign of some real attack, real compromise? Because the darknet is where attacker exchange information with each other, sell and buy some attacking tools through the darknet. So if you can monitor the darknet activity, you can find a lot of those inside information. Credit card fraud detection and defense, digital forensic. Digital forensic is not a very active research topic because it's more like application. So there are not many academic papers published in digital forensic because it's more like a practitioner area. It's not active academic research area. Okay, so here just some example of the topic. It's not complete. There are a lot of other cybersecurity research topic. To find more, you should go check this top 4 security conference, check their 2024 conference, check their 2023, 2022 conference to check all those papers, quickly go through them to find the topic that you are interested in. Okay, that's all for today's class. One last question. Are we going to have a live presentation of slides session for the term project? The answer is no. We don't have a live presentation of the term project for the class because we have too many students in this class and there's no time for that. So you just need to submit the presentation slides, and on each page of the presentation slides, put your speaking notes on each page of the presentation slide. So that's all we need. Okay, that's all for today's class, and see you next Tuesday.